going to ask you one math question. That's it, one, just one. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Just keep it to yourself. I want you to clear your minds. Clear your minds. I want you to think of a whole number from 1 to 4. That's it. Second. You do this. A dot plot is a nice way of collecting something like this because you only have 4 possible data values, but you're going to have 30 or 35 or 40 instances of those data values, yes? So it's real nice because it allows you to real quickly establish your axis. Dot plot. Okay. Yeah, we don't need that really, just a horizontal. So this is the number thought of. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. How many ones we got? How many ones we got? We got 2 ones. And just put 2 dots above the 1. Like that. How many 2s? 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 2s. And again, the same rule for stem and leaves. Make sure your dots occupy the same space each time. Technology takes care of this beautifully. Excel can do these pretty slickly, actually. 3s. How many 3s we got? Oh, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, that's about right. And 4s? Yes. Just like every other class I've ever done this with. It's amazing. There's always fewer 1s. The next most popular is 4. 2 is the next popular, and 3s eclipse the rest. And I actually do have an explanation for this one. I think you guys might even know what it is. Why are there so many 3s?
It's because it's a nice number.
Define nice. All numbers are nice.
Well, the way I saw it was normally if you see like movies that are run in trilogy or games that are run in trilogy, it's just like 1 and then 2 is like the climax and 3 is.
Oh, so you went somewhere completely different than I did with
That's
this.
the way I saw it.
That's interesting. So you're okay. So 3 is a special number in that. It's got a special connotation elsewhere.
Right.
Interesting. I wonder if I had asked the question, think of them from 1 to 7, if you would pick 3 that way. I wonder.
I probably still would.
I can't do it now because I've ruined your bias. That's a good point. Other ideas? Why so many 3s?
Middle's not
2.5's the middle, though. Right? I mean, technically, if you want to go and be a master, 2.5's the middle, right? But when you say middle, though, I do think middle has something to do with it.
It was just because it's not.
Oh, it's not?
2 is.
Oh, 2 is a factor of 4.
Right, and 1.
And 1's the oddball.
3 isn't.
Yeah. Oh, God, you guys are awesome.
That's what I thought.
I wasn't thinking any of that stuff. Much better. I was just thinking of think about what I said. Think of a whole number from 1 to 4. It's the only number I didn't say. And your brain goes, shoot! Right to that hole. I'm a human, I must fix that. That's the way I think of it. That's just the way your brain works. It wants to plug the hole because it didn't hear 3. What I'll try to do next time is I'll try to change it next if I remember to do this, and I'll say, think of a whole number between 1 and 4, or something like that, and not say 2 and see if it changes. I'll have to give that a whirl. Yeah.
Or say 1 through 4. But
Oh,
through
through.
sound like 3 when you say.
Oh, interesting. Through. I can do that. I'm good at silly noises. Please.
Well, I thought about that because at first I was thinking, were you saying that we only can select from 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 4?
Right, but I said between 1 to 4. Think of a whole number from 1 to 4. Yeah.
So then I was thinking that those would only 3 selections, but my favorite number is 3. So then I rethought it, and then I'm like, okay, I can pick that number.
Which makes me wonder if I said something like 1 to 7 or 1 to 6, if you'd still pick 3. That goes back with what Nick is saying. 3 might have a special place in our hearts without even realizing. I don't know, maybe.
Well, I had a whole number that was above 4 before you said 1 to 4.
Interesting.
And so
because I was saying it so slowly, think of a whole number. 15!
Yeah.
Then you have to, so you have to come back.
So then I had to go back.
And did you think of 3?
Yes.
You did think
well,
of 3.
I started with 7.
7?
So then you said 4, so I had to
7?
go back.
What's special?
Lucky number
Let's just think of a whole number.
Lucky
Boom.
number 7.
And see what the hell happens. Maybe it's Pareto in that case. I don't know. Haley, what
I
you got?
started with 3 before you said 1 to 4.
Before I said 1 to 4.
Yeah.
So you thought of 7, thought of 3.
Yeah.
I thought of 7 at first too.
The mind is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Who the hell knows what's going on? I don't. I can report on data and then hypothesize about why you guys did. This is what psychology is all about, yeah? Now, I want to close out. We're basically done as far as histogrammy stuff. There aren't any other histogrammy things that are worth talking about right now. I do want to talk about histogrammy stuff on Tuesday, which is why I wanted to hit you with this today. But what I want to just kind of end up the day with is, and obviously don't write this down, you'll have it posted for you, is very interesting ways I've seen to present statistics that are off the beaten path, you won't see in textbook kind of things. See if you can check this out. Check it out, see if you understand what it's showing you. If you can't read the legend, red, working 14-year-olds, yellow, studying 14-year-olds. Yes, if you can't see, this is the flag of China. It's down here in the bottom corner. Got a little more so you can see it. There we go. What are we getting across with this graphic? Yes, a higher percentage in China of 14-year-olds are working. What percentage would you estimate of that flag is red? Estimate. 90? Yeah, 90, somewhere above 90 maybe even, but 90% I think is safe. So out of every 10 14-year-olds in China, one is studying, one is working. I think it might be a little bit biased in the fact that this implies that you can't do both. And for somebody that worked his way through college, I'm like, wait a minute now, I can be yellow and red, it's kind of like orange, right? I can be like an orange part of that flag. But maybe it's not like that in China. I always ask my brother-in-law who lives there about this, and he always changes the subject, which makes me think it's true. So, nonetheless, I think it's a shocking way of kind of seeing statistics without having to see any number anywhere. You get the idea. Here's another one. Here's another one. Oh, if you can't read, green is kind of small, I apologize. Green is people who live on less than $10 a month. That's the green. Yellow, people who live on less than $100 a month, which I'm assuming means more than 10 but less than 100. Blue is people who live with less than 1,000, more than 100, less than 1,000. White is people who live on more than $100,000 a month. This is there's also a piece of this flag they removed to make it match the numbers better. This is the Brazil flag. And on the Brazil flag, there's a bit of what's it called, a marquee that goes across it that has something in Portuguese, which I can't remember what it says. We're good at soccer or something like that. But do you see what they're getting across with this? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, clearly. What percentage of the population of Brazil live on less than $10 a month? Ish. Approximate that. 60, 70, somewhere in there? Yeah, 2/3 maybe. Let's say 2/3. Well, 60, 2/3. That's ridiculous. Unless it costs less than $10 a month to live in Brazil happily. It could very well cost. I don't think it does. It's a pretty expensive place from what I understand. But nonetheless, it gives you an idea of the poverty without coming out and saying the poverty level of Brazil is very high. Here, boom, graphical. One of my favorites, still dated, but still my favorite. Red, in favor of the war in Iraq. White, against the war in Iraq. Blue, can't find Iraq on a map. Boom. Blue, can't find Iraq on a map. Yep. It's dated, of course, but I love it. I love it. I tested out with the 244. We see if it's actually true or not. Cool? Okay, good. That's one way of presenting it. Not histogram at all. I mean, you got the stripes, but it's not really histogram. This one's too hard to see. You can check it out online once you get the PowerPoint yourself. It's too hard to see in these rooms. I love this one. It's one of my faves. One of my faves. Can you see what's going on here? I love this one. There's like no numbers at all and no legend even. Oh, and there's colors. Colors are unfortunate. I didn't make this myself. I would have made the color a little bit darker. Pink, blue, yellow, purple. And each bar comes down and then splits and goes to the bottom as it comes through the middle. So you got purple splitting and going here, yellow is splitting, some of the yellow's going there, some of the yellow's heading over here. It's very hard to see this yellow here. Let me kill more light, make it stand out more. It's a little easier to see, yeah? What is this? What is going on here?
For airplane?
Close!
Crashes.
Close, damn close, actually. That's a damn good guess, actually, of crashes historically. This is actually one event.
Is it the Titanic?
Yes, it just had its 100th anniversary. Last year, year before, maybe. This is the Titanic. What happened versus class, gender, and whether you lived or not. Yeah, class. What percentage of the crew was? What percentage of the overall liner was crew? First class, second class, or third class? Of those, what were the genders? And of the genders and the class, how did they fare? How did we do? Who do you want to be on the Titanic to maximize your chance of winning? Winning. Living. I guess it's winning.
Male.
You want to be female crew? Here's female crew. Well, hell yeah. None of them died. Well, this one died. A very large chunk of female crew lived. I mean, as a percentage, there aren't very many of them. Who else do you want to be? First class?
Female second.
First class females? I think so, yeah? Because now look at the overall. That's 100% of the Titanic, yes? So first class is maybe 20% of that? Maybe-ish. So here's the men and women equally split-ish. Here's the women that died. Where are they? Here they are. They died. They lived. So yeah, first class women did great. Who else did great? What? Tell me what? Tell me what's up. Follow the bars. The thicker the bar, the more people in that group. So where are the thickest bars going? Well, guy crew members. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the guy crew members. Except for the ones in the lifeboats, which I think did okay. The ones in the lifeboats. The most interesting thing, and take some time with this when you have time, third class is my favorite one to look at. Because third class is the only class where more women died than lived. Check this out. Here's the women third class passengers. Here's the ones that died, here's the ones that lived. It's the only class where more women died than lived. I don't understand that. I don't get that. Especially in 1912, it was women and children first. So I don't know, James Cameron had a field day with this in the movie Titanic. Say that again? But why would that kill more women?
Because they were downstairs.
Well, that's what James Cameron said, and then the survivors argue that. No, we weren't locked downstairs. So, it's interesting. Nobody knows. It's 100 years old. There weren't, like, cell phones. You could take pictures of things on the Titanic. So anyway, a very interesting way of looking at the data that way. Yeah, we're doing good. Here's $100. Change gears again here. There's a stack of $100 bills, otherwise known as $10,000. There's a stack of 100 of those previous packets and how big it would be next to a 6-foot-tall dude. Okay, 6-foot-tall dude. Good so far?
That's $1 million.
Okay, that's $1 million. $1 million with an M. Yes, that's $1 million with an M. So that's how we carry it around, $1 million bucks, easily portable. That's a pallet full of them. That would be $100 million. So 100 of those, 100 of these equals that. And we put it on a pallet, now you can move it around with a forklift. What would $1 billion look like? What would $1 billion look like?
A building.
Big as a warehouse.
Well, if you know this is 100 million, 10 of those, yeah? 10 of those would be $1 billion. Right? Put one more zero on. That's $1 billion. So you ready? Here's $1 million. That's $1 million. There's $1 billion. Now think about how often those numbers get thrown around the news. We're spending lots and lots of money, $2.2 million. Lots and lots of money? What does $1 trillion look like? The new number that flies around. What does $1 trillion look like? Compare it to $1 billion. What is it going to look like? That's $1 trillion. Find the dude. You see him over there? There he is. Yeah. What is a trillion compared to $1 billion? It's 1,000 times bigger. Every time you go up an illion, you multiply by 1,000. Million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion. We haven't gotten there yet, but give us time, because there's your national debt as of 2009. I haven't updated it since 2009. I'm kind of depressed, but I don't really want to. Where's the dude? There he is, over there in the corner. There's your national debt. Yeah, it's a little staggering. A little staggering. Imagine if your household could deficit spend. Wow. 3 cars a day. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with something a little more depressing. Smoking. No. This is having you recognize this picture.
Is that Grateful Dead or something?
They may have used it. They may have used it. It predates the Grateful Dead, actually, believe it or not. But don't worry about that yet. Focus on that part I just circled. Okay? I zoomed in on it, on that little part that I just circled. Zoom it in. I'm going to zoom in again. It's starting to look like crap, right? Like you take an iPhone picture, try to send it into a magazine for submission. They go, no, the resolution's too low. Resolution's too low. Send it back, and you go, no, keep looking at it. Keep zooming in, because there's something cool in there. The entire picture is made up of packs of cigarette tops. This is the picture you were just looking at. That's the original Pat you were talking about. The Grateful Dead, I think, used something like it in their logo, but it predates it by a couple hundred years. Vincent van Gogh, cleverly titled Skull with Cigarette. Oh, 1855, not 17, 1885. This is a guy named Chris Jordan. Chris Jordan, Seattle artist. Also called a skull with cigarette, but what he did was this.
Alright, I'm trying to quit.
I'm not picking on you, nor was I asking. simply, he has an entire, I gave you a link to him here. He's got an entire series called Portraits of American Consumption that are all about this. He's got a zoomed out look, kind of a impressionistic look at what looks like two female breasts. And what it is, it's a number of Barbie dolls that are arranged to look like two female breasts, and every Barbie represents one elective breast augmentation done in the United States in a certain year. Wow. He's got amazing stuff up, and it's all about that kind of like shock value. But again, it's not a histogram. It's just simply a neat way of looking at something. Other than that, yeah. So I didn't know where to fit him else. So here, I'll have the link for you. You can get back in there and look at it more carefully if you want to. I have one more question, and I kick you out of here. How many keys do you have with you today? This is the data we are going to start on Tuesday with. Let me write this down. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do that a lot. I just did it right there. So get your keys out. Hang on. We're going to be a little more organized, so I'm going to do a dot plot.
Does a handcuff key count?
Does a handcuff key count? It counts for something. Anybody have no keys at all today? None at all. There's two. Gotta count that as data. Anybody have one key and only one key with them? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 keys. Whoa. Oh. 1, 2, 3. 4. No problem. 3 keys. To count a drum key too, Joe, if you've got one. Okay. 4 keys. 5 keys. Awesome. 6 keys. 1, 2. There's just 1. 7. 1, 2. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9. 10. Anybody? Oh, we got 10. Anybody above 10? What do we got, Dave? 13. 12. Anybody else? Did I get everybody? Thank you, friends. Thank you. I posted a quiz. Just one thing. I posted a quiz for this stuff for next week. There's a homework assignment that goes. Of course, it's optional. Do what you need to do, but that might help you do the quiz as well. So just so you know, that first, I'll put it in the schedule page as well. The schedule page will have a link to the homework and the quiz to do next week. Have a great weekend, friends. Could one of you guys just turn the camera off? I think there's a vertical button. Have it right there. Thank you.